Hello. That feels like our unusual introduction. All right, mate.
Hello, mate. How you doing, mate?
How you doing?
What?
He's standing today. He's been lying down for how many hours was it?
To be fair, I actually just slept the whole 10-hour flight. The whole of it.
So for people who don't know, why would you be on a 10-hour flight?
So I went to the Tradify retreat.
Mm-hmm.
So that was in Mexico. They did a retreat for everybody that has been working there. It was my first week. And I said I was going to be very, relaxed, observant, take my time, want to leave a good impression.
Yeah.
That went out the window after 4 tequilas. And then I was just, the English in me took over.
Oh, good. Oh, don't ever change, mate. Don't ever change, yeah?
Yeah. So it was a great time. Mexico was beautiful. I wish I had more time there, in all honesty. But
you didn't see any of the backlash of the violence or anything?
No, that was in the south of Mexico. We were in the north, in Cancun.
Yeah.
But yeah, the flights. It's all right if everybody you're with, because I was in economy, of course.
Yeah.
If everybody just goes to sleep,
and
they don't get up, it's fine. But if you're in the middle, and
you weren't in the middle, were you?
I was for both times. Every 10 minutes, somebody needs to get up. Oh, it's killer. It's a killer. So the flight there was really difficult, but the flight back was totally fine. And yeah, I was like nodding in and out of sleep, and when I would wake up, I'd be listening to like drum and bass. I'd be like, I must be knackered.
Yeah. So that's why I was quite surprised when you said to me, like, yeah, I'm going to be home in an hour, so should we do an episode of Pipped Off? And I was like, yeah, okay.
Because I've been raring to get back to work. I feel it feels weird not working, not doing.
I mean,
anything.
You have been working. Let's be honest. It was team building, right? It wasn't work in the traditional sense of sat at a computer, trading, creating content, managing operations, and doing all the various different stuff that you have done and that you're going to do, right? But
it was walking to the bar, eating food and drinking, Michael.
Yeah. All right. Well, you built up a good relationship with your team.
Built up a good relationship with the team. I'm really excited for Tradeify and Tradify's brand and Tradify Crypto.
Yeah.
And every single one of them is a trader. Everyone. Yeah. It's not like you have one or two here, like proper traders that have been in it since 2018, even earlier. They've gone through the whole ups and downs of the crypto market. There's been some interesting losses. There's been they're real traders with real stories and understanding. They want to give the best to the trader, and that's gives me like early Fivers vibes, if I'm honest.
Nice. So, is this your official announcement to say that you are now working for Tradeify?
I am working with Tradeify now. Yeah, Tradeify Crypto.
Tradeify Crypto.
Tradeify Crypto. Yeah.
Tradeify Crypto. There you go. You've heard it here first, everyone. For anywhere else. Actually, no. Probably by the time this goes out, unless I get my act together. Might try and put it out later today. We'll see if I can get it all edited and whatnot.
Do the feelers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Alex is
How have you been
moving on. I'm good. I am waiting for us to contract on selling our apartment.
Okay.
So we have sold it. We've gotten a buyer and everything else is agreed. We're just waiting for him to get his mortgage sorted. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks that will go through, and then I will technically be a Polish zloty millionaire.
Wow.
With some money to invest.
Yeah.
So looking at that at the moment to see what I'm going to do with it, where am I going to invest, what I'm going to do with it, because I don't for a long time, I thought I was just going to buy somewhere for us and just be mortgage free. But actually, that doesn't get me anywhere in 10 years from now. So I'm almost certain we're going to rent somewhere, whether that's in the UK, whether it's in Poland, I don't know. But the plan is that we're going to rent somewhere, and then I'm going to use the sizable amount of capital that I'm going to have available to invest, probably in a bit of property. Not too sure what kind yet, but I'm looking at some property options. I'm looking at some offshore options, various different bits and pieces. So yeah.
UK.
Mm.
What would be
Your favourite place? You're the best ambassador for the UK, to be fair.
It's funny because they want me to relocate to London.
Tradeify do.
Yeah, Tradify Crypto would look to potentially relocate for me to relocate to London.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
If you do it, I'll do it.
I'm working on it.
What are we going to do in London, Mike?
Well, we could do Pipped Off from that pub every week.
Freezing.
No.
Yeah.
No. Just a bit wet.
And wet and high tax. And...
What you got to think about though, right? Is you got to think about it from the perspective of, if you earn enough, then the taxes don't matter.
Okay.
Taxes they don't, right? If you earn enough money, I don't mind paying taxes. I've got no problem with paying taxes, right? If you're earning enough and everything else, then pay your tax, pay your dues, and help support. Yeah, there needs to be changes, there needs to be reform and everything else. But the way that particular job works is that you're not going to be I don't think you're going to be tied 24/7 to London, right? So once you've got things established, you'll be able to travel to Dubai or wherever and maybe spend a week working from Dubai or something or whatever. I don't see why that wouldn't be possible. Do you know what I mean? I think that would be perfectly reasonable and acceptable. And if they want you to relocate to London, then wouldn't you then be able to be an actual employee rather than having to have your own contract, have your own business? I presume.
Yep. Then I have
so
to
then
put
you
up
get
with
benefits with that.
You have to
put up with the weather. You have to put up with the weather. Yeah, but
I'll have to put up with...
UK weather isn't actually that bad.
Okay, let's have a look. Okay.
No. We don't. Okay, if you're gonna compare it to your current weather that you have right now, then
13 degrees and it's raining. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what have you got right now?
14 degrees.
But it's not raining.
Why is it 14 degrees and not raining then? So not too much of a difference then.
No. And as I said,
16 degrees.
That makes all the difference. But think about it this way, right? The reality is that what's the major difference in that? Yeah, okay, it's going to be a bit wetter in the UK. Yeah, but you're in London where you can jump on a plane and go pretty much anywhere in the world. There's nothing stopping you from jumping on a plane and doing city breaks around Europe or whatever. Going down to the south of Spain, going to Italy. It's not as if if they were saying, hey, relocate to New Zealand or something, right? Then, and where the weather can also be very incremental, then that would be a different story, right? Because then you're literally on the other side of the world. But I don't think it's that big of a sacrifice, given the opportunity of what you've said to me about what you guys are planning to do. I think it's an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, I'll have to give it a think, big time.
When would you do it if it did happen?
No, it'll be in a few months, 3-4 months. further away in the future.
Yeah. Well, we're so with the sale of our apartment, we're able to stay here until the end of May. So even though we're exchanging contracts in the next few weeks, the guy has said that we can stay here for the next few months, because he's going to renovate and do some changes to the place. So, but he can't get his building guys in until the summer. So we can stick around and figure out where we want to go and what we want to do. So it buys us a little bit of time, because obviously if we go to the UK, there's a question of, me shutting down my self-employed entity here, opening up one in the UK, my wife doing the same. There's all sorts of different things. Even just transferring the capital that I get from the apartment over to the UK, I've got to, I'm in touch with a proper broker to try and get the best exchange rate of the zloty versus the pound.
Can't you do that through your bank?
Not for this amount. We're talking about like in excess of £300,000.
Yeah.
So
it can cost you thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands.
So you want to do it with a proper broker who you transfer it with, and they're traders basically. They just trade currency. So I've been looking at that. I've been looking at financial advisors, looking at property advisors, all sorts of stuff. But as you can see behind me, I am no longer in the fridge that I often liked to describe my office as. I couldn't take it anymore.
You were so excited when you first got the office as well.
I really, really was. I thought, do you know what? This is it. I've got the space, I've got the privacy, everything else. I don't know if we're going to manage to do an entire recording of this podcast without getting disrupted by my kids, because my wife has gone to pick them up. It's 3:30, and they may well be running through the door at some point. So that could be interesting. We'll have to stop the recording at that point. But yeah, it just, I wasn't getting any daylight. I was sitting freezing. And yeah, so I literally on a whim, Tuesday 2 weeks ago, I rented a van that was parked literally outside the office, because you can rent with an app. You can just rent a car or rent a van around the city. So I just chucked everything in the back, and I moved everything that day, and that was it. I was done. Thanks very much. So I've still got to sort out.
I like the way that you're very decisive with it though. You're just like, that's it.
Yeah. I thought, you know what? I can't. It was mentally affecting me in a bad way. Like I could feel it was mentally affecting me in a bad way, and I knew that it wasn't good for me. In the past, I probably would have just sat there and wallowed and felt sorry for myself and gone, oh, it's cold and whatever, but I'll stick it out. But with us selling the apartment and everything, I thought, no, just save myself the time and the hassle and the money, and let's have everything all in one place, and we'll go from there. So I haven't got all my 5 monitors that I used to have. I've only got 3. But it's actually not been too bad. It's just I have to start work earlier and finish earlier, because by the time the kids get home, they won't let me work on the computer, because we've got the open living room, kitchen, diner, everything here, and there's just no way. So yeah, but yeah, going back to your original question, things are good. The sun shines out over here in Krakow, so that is always nice. The kids are doing well.
Past the phase 1.
Past phase 1, yeah. So so been dabbling back into trading. So yeah, no, things are
gold.
That was all on gold yesterday. Yeah, that was all on gold yesterday. So just caught some of the big moves. I just layered into it, and when I could see it was going in my direction, I was like, right, let's add some positions, and that was it. Yeah. So managed to make. So yesterday was a 10% day. Yeah. So yesterday was a 10% day, which was nice. I haven't had one of those in a good while. A really good while. Probably over a year and a half. So no, that was good. It was good.
I tried trading while I was over there, and market, the Asian market, is terrible.
Why?
It's
Hang
like
on. Why would you try? Okay, I know you were
because
out having a good time and everything else, but why would you trade the Asian market from Mexico?
No, it was really, really late New York. Sorry, not Asian market, but
Right.
really, really late New York, where I would never normally trade it. But it just looked there were some really good opportunities, but it didn't have the push like I'm used to. On London going into New York,
Yeah.
you get these impulses, these really big pushes of impulse, or at the start of the London session, you get um, you know manipulation of an Asian high or an Asian low, and then you take it to the other side. And I would go into some decent profits, close my phone, go for dinner, come back, and I've just been taken out. And it would just happen. So eventually I just stopped.
Yeah.
So I did give a lot of my profits back on this funded account that I've got. But you've got to really, if you're I should have known a little bit better than to trade out of a session.
The end of New York it's like the dregs. It's the bottom of the barrel, right? There's there's just no liquidity. There's nothing in there.
Not doing it. Yeah, it's not moving. So there's been a lot of fuss on Twitter about this this Jane Street firm.
I've seen something about that. Yeah,
Jane Street firm. About? Basically, they were just manipulating the markets to make a lot of money. So they would
primarily Bitcoin.
They would be buying. They would be buying lots of spots. I think it was either spot Bitcoin, or they were buying lots of these ETF contracts, loads, and it was pushing up spot prices. And then while it was pushing up, people also obviously, retail getting in at the top, and they were opening put options on the other side. Wow. And they would then, obviously, because they were the highest, they had so much stock, then they would just sell it all while they had put options open, and just make a killing off both sides. Yeah. That's when you've got, I think, money like that, you really could bully the market. Because at the end of the day,
if you've got the ability to move the market like that.
Because what are we doing? We're taking advantage, and we're like the shrimps. We're shrimps. We, getting them.
I think that's too complimentary. I think we're more like plankton.
We're plankton. Okay, we are plankton. Plankton survive through a lot, though. Plankton,
Plankton does survive a lot. Yeah, plankton. It can squeeze through the gaps.
Plankton. We are the planktons. So we can do a lot of stuff that they can't do, but we also chase it. We're intraday trading. By the time that they've already manipulated, you and I are complaining that price has been very choppy today.
Yeah. Well, because they're not going all in with one position, right? They're layering it in. They're managing their position size. If they've got a massive position to go in, they're going to get in at certain price points, right? They're not just going to go all in at one exact point, because otherwise the market does spike. Oh, they're already. The only thing I saw about Jane Street was something about how they're already banned somewhere. I don't know where.
In India.
Is it India they're banned? But I'm sure it was somewhere else as well. I can't remember where. But yeah, I noticed something online. I didn't go into the details of it, but I did see that there was a lot of fuss and noise about them online, which is not good. It's not good. But do you know? I wonder whether that fuss and that noise with Jane Street does that make Bitcoin and crypto more legitimate? Because think about it, years ago, you had the likes of, in fact, all of the banks, Barclays and all the others. They've all been done at some point or another for manipulating price. manipulating forex pricing.
I don't think it matters, because all they're doing is just trying to take as much money out of somebody else's pocket. Doesn't matter.
No,
if
I agree, but do you think that, given the fact that you had big, long established assets like forex, like gold, all of these others that were being manipulated in the years gone by, in the last 20 years or so, right? There were fines, there were investigations, and everything else. Certain regulators went after the banks when they discovered that they had been manipulating price in a certain way, colluding together, and everything else. I can't remember the specific details, but if Jane Street have now, it's clear that they've been doing that with crypto. I wonder, does that, in a weird kind of way, give crypto a legitimacy that, do you know what I mean? That there's enough liquidity there. There's enough,
I think the problem is there isn't enough liquidity, and that's why they can move. So? Yeah, they can move things around, and they can hold price in certain areas, and they can pump price really easily, and then they don't have to do much. You don't have to do much to move a market in crypto that you haven't, like, isn't a lot of liquidity. There was a couple of bots. There was another article that was a couple of bots that were doing something on Poly Markets. He came in and basically took all the bots out just through putting a massive order into, I can't remember which coin it was, but it pushed the market up, and then all the bots tried to sell into it, and then it kept on pushing them, squeezed them out, and then he sold onto. There's a lot of opportunities to, inefficiencies in crypto that I think a lot of sophisticated traders use. We're not that sophisticated, Michael. We should be more sophisticated.
Do we need to be more sophisticated? I don't know. Is that something that we can do?
Be more sophisticated? A lot more money to be sophisticated, unfortunately. Yeah. If you want to do the stuff that they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, there is a lot of there's a lot of opportunity with AI right now. There's more and more algos coming in, but we've spoken about it before. The more algos that come in, all they're doing is just, like you said, they're closing the efficiencies, right? But they're all whether it's humans trading against each other or whether it's algos trading against each other, it's still all going to move the market one way or the other. So it's, at the end of the day, it still keeps the market moving, and there's still going to be opportunities to try and jump on the coattails of a move here, there, and everywhere, right? So yeah, but no, we'll see. Well, I'm glad your first week went well at Tradeify. Now the hard work really starts, right?
Yeah.
Exciting times. Alex going back into crypto.
Yeah. Probably
going back to his roots.
Yeah. It's probably the most exciting thing for crypto at the moment is a brand like Tradify coming in. Yeah, big time. Confessions?
I was just about to say, we shall segue nicely into some confessions. Let's pull those over and let's see what we've got. First one today. I hit my first 10K month trading this February and locked in 6K more in payouts for next month. But I lost 3K in a crypto scam I naively fell for and can't stop thinking about it, and it messes with my mental state a lot. I don't know how to cope. It sounds like you need to just go and touch some grass. Like you've had some good wins.
Yeah, this is the big problem, isn't it? It's the fact that when we make money, we anchor everything to where our balance or equity was at the highest point.
Yeah.
And then when it's not there, you're still anchored to that price and you feel like you've lost. But really, it doesn't really matter if, okay, now I'm at this price.
Yeah.
Because that's where you are right now. You haven't got that 3,000.
Yeah.
You're at whatever it is, 7,000. That's what you've got. Yeah. And I think if you keep trying to anchor to what you have right now and not what you had, then I think that's going to help a little bit more. It's a hard thing to do. It's not easy.
I mean, even just looking at that, right? Okay, so he's up 16K and he's lost 3, so he's still up 13K. Like, I'd be quite happy with that. You know, just take the wins and learn the lesson from the crypto scam. You know, go check out Tradify Crypto. Next one, barely left my room for the last 4 years as I was trading. Barely left my room for 4 years. Jesus. I've made good money from it, but my social abilities have been shot. I used to be a confident guy, had multiple girlfriends throughout the years and a big social circle. Now I have almost no friends and can barely speak to girls. Worth it though? I'm not sure I'd say
Doesn't
that.
sound, if it was worth it, you wouldn't be writing that.
I wouldn't agree with that. I don't think that's worth it. Next one. I'm a profitable trader, but it's almost all for nothing because of stupid tax laws in my country. I buy prop firm challenges with all my own money, trade every day, and then when I do make payouts, the prop firm takes their cut, and then the government take 50% of the rest. It's so hard to build wealth in these conditions. That sounds like a very, very hefty tax law.
You've got the same in the UK though.
What, 50%?
Oh, where? Yeah, but it's not exactly. It's not. Everybody says like it's 47%, it's 50%. It's like only on probably a small amount. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like like laddered. Still a lot of money.
Yeah, it is, but I'm sure it's not 50%.
It's quite wild, to be fair.
That even for the UK, that sounds excessive. Unless it's treated as gambling or something like that in certain countries, you know.
Yeah.
So, this one's heavy. I just blew up 150 grand of my own money in 3 months trading ES and NQ. It was pretty much my life savings. No job. I honestly feel so lost and might just end it all.
Ugh.
Don't do that for starters. I'm not sure this person is going to be watching, but yeah, don't do that. Just, you know, go out and get some fresh air and reassess.
Vinny, the founder of Tradeify, said something that resonated with me quite a lot. He says you can be the best trader and you can make so much money through years and years and years of hard work and dedication. But it only takes one fuck up. One time that you fuck it up.
Yeah.
And you've lost it. That's why it's so difficult. That's why trading is so difficult, because you have to be on it all the time. You have to be on your best all the time. And some of us, you know, have times where we lapse in emotion. And unfortunately, those lapses in emotion could be the difference between, you know, you just having a graze to you having a really bad break or really bad, you know, losing it all.
Need a way of better managing how you can keep like your finger on the pulse with your emotions, you know,
or just stop trading and looking. If you like the markets, you like the markets and stuff, I'll go trade. You know,
you and I both know that's easier said than done.
Yes, of course. Like half the stuff that we talk about.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, everything is easier said than done.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go. Next one says, genuinely took me 4 months to become a profitable trader with no previous experience. This was 3 years ago, and I'm still consistently profitable and living my dream life. I think that most people just overcomplicate it and strategy hop, which is why they keep failing. Yeah, I would say that person has got their psychology in place as well, because it's. I agree.
You don't need
strategy hop.
Yeah, if you're doing the same thing all over again and over again and over again, you don't really need psychology, because it's just you're just doing what you know you're doing it.
Yeah,
it's like you don't get in a car and you don't. Oh God, my psychology's bad today. Just got to be more careful.
Yeah, but I do think there's still a psychological element around the money and the financial side of it, right? You know, we've all got different relationships with money. whether we've got it, whether we haven't got it, whether we did have it or didn't have it growing up, all those sorts of things. That all plays into it.
Yeah.
But it does come down to personality, about whether you're able to just detach yourself from what's going on and just become very mechanical and switch off your emotions. Some people can do it, some people can't.
Mm-hmm.
You and I think we're just very emotionally charged people.
Mm-hmm.
We're so emotional.
Yep.
Just lost $7,000 on a trade today because I went to comfort my infant son who was crying. Didn't realize I hadn't put a stop loss on the trade until I got back to the chart. Trading from home with young kids can be tough sometimes. Yeah, I can totally agree with that. Not a wise idea. Go and get yourself a trade manager. Just set your trades up so stop loss is automatic.
Yeah.
This one says, currently in college, started trading full-time last year, February, and now I've gotten to learn a strategy with a win rate of 70 to 80%. Doing that without a mentor, though, through sleepless nights of backtesting and trying to get myself better. Now my issue is psychology and funds. Currently have zero capital to fund. Sounds like somebody needs to go to a prop firm.
Yep.
Build up your capital that way.
Yep.
But if you've got 70 to 80%, that's big. You're already halfway there.
Depends on the win rate, I guess. Not the win rate, the risk to reward. I guess.
Interesting.
You're profitable anyway, but
if you're profitable, then it is just a case of just making sure you're managing those trades carefully, right?
Yeah.
With that, I'm interested to see
anything over 1-to-1, you're decent. Even
a
1-to-1, you're decent. But anything over a 1-to-1, you're better.
Any interesting on what your thoughts are on this one, because you and I both have experience with this. Running a trading Discord is mentally taxing. Lately, I would rather just trade instead of doing both. Profitable trading is much calmer instead of also teaching. People are extremely ungrateful with the amount of free tools and education and simply want more. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
I relate to that.
Yeah. Not everybody needs to teach. Not all of us need to pass it on. Some people, it's their passion. Some people, they like doing it. And then some people, try and force it. And if you try and force something, eventually you're not going to do it very well. And you're going to get burnt out quite fast.
The problem with the education thing as well is that a lot of people try to use it as a supplementary income, right? They might not necessarily charge for the community. Some do, some don't. But they might use affiliate links. They might use, introducing brokers, different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you've got to accept the fact that if you're going down that route and you're positioning yourself as some kind of educator, then people are going to expect stuff from you. If you're giving it to them for free, that I understand. I know there's a lot of kind of everyone, complains and requests getting something for free all the time. You can't. Yeah,
that's why people don't like doing it for free.
Yeah. And then when people complain that it's charged for, it's like, well, then that's why. Because you got to respect your own time and how much it costs.
Yeah.
This person says, got my first payout of $6,000 by asking AI what trades I should take. Fair play. Good for them. This one says, been grinding trading since I was 15. I'm 24 now. I'm profitable and make more money than both of my parents combined. But I regret now not having more fun. All my friends who went the normal college and 9-to-5 route all seem a lot more happy and socially connected than me. I wonder if it was even worth it. I don't know. I didn't go to college or anything. I didn't go to university. And I started working from the age of 16, 17. I worked full time. And my social side of things didn't really happen until I moved to Poland when I was like 23. I wouldn't say it's not worth it. If you're earning that money, then good. Congratulations. Maybe invest it, get it working for you now rather than just trading. But then go out and just meet people. Yep. Go and socialize. You know, if you're doing that well on trading, go and see if there's people in your area that are also trading.
Yep.
Go and physically meet other traders. You know, that's why I definitely want to go to that FX conference in London in September, if I can get down there. Just to physically go and meet up with some people. You know,
I might be there.
Sounds like a plan.
Most probably I'll be there. I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go to the one in Dubai, and also go to the one in there as well. Yep, 100%.
Makes a difference. Makes a difference being able to actually physically meet people and chat to them face to face.
100%. Yeah.
Rather than being isolated. This one says, been trading for 10 years. I make around 250 grand per month on average, but my investments have overtaken it. By just investing in dividend-paying stocks and also the stocks selling basic human needs. Water, electricity, gas, oil, alongside wheat and cattle, and my biggest investment, munitions companies. I'd say take your profits and roll them in guaranteed income. When hits the fan, trading, which it does for most people over a long period of time, you'll be comfortable. Yeah. That's what I was saying earlier. You know, don't just spend your trading profits. Go and stick it somewhere, like I'm planning to do with the sale of my property.
Yep.
Stick it in something that's going to work for you. Might not give you a return immediately, but as you compound it, then it'll make a big difference. Not enough focus on the effect of compounding something. I know a guy who was a profitable trader for like 15 plus years, just trading his own capital and was living the dream, making 30 to 50 grand most months, traveling the world with his wife, living in a nice house, all that. 2 years ago, he went on a crazy losing streak and lost about 70% of his trading capital. Since then, he hasn't gone for more than 2 months being profitable. He's really stressed and is trying to go back to work, but after not working for 15 plus years, he's struggling to get a decent job. How is this even possible?
So dangerous.
That is a massive, massive fall from grace. But that's interesting. That's somebody who clearly didn't do what the previous guy did, or previous woman did, where, right, okay, I'm making all this money. Let me invest it. Let me get it, working for me. Yeah, you go and live the dream. You go and travel the world and everything else. But if you're not putting some of that aside, if you're making 30 to 50 grand a month, stick 10 of that into anything.
Buy property.
Yeah.
I'm only just starting to do that. I've been a bit of a spender for the last couple of years. So I'm really now only thinking about this, at 20, 29, 30 this year. What happens if I get to 40 and everything goes to shit? Have I got enough? Have I built up enough that, okay, I can survive on my own without anything?
I mean, that's where I am right now, I invested in this property my late 20s, now cashing out. So the plan is to...
You bought this one, was this when you were at your single bachelor pad?
Was, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I bought this property off plan. It was even before it was contracted to be built. The bank needed 10 people to sign up with a £2,000 deposit to say that they would buy one of the apartments. And you weren't even committed to buying it. You just had to say that you'd sign a contract, give them £2,000 deposit, which you'd get back later on. And all that was needed was for the bank to release the funds to actually do the build. So I was one of those 10 people, thanks to a very good friend of mine who told me about the opportunity. Because of that, you got a ridiculously low price. So now, value-wise, we're looking at 400%.
Wow.
On original value. Yeah. So obviously with the mortgage, I don't get 400% return, but I still get a nice healthy bit of equity released. And I don't want, like, now is the time to sell. When we got that offer, I said to my wife, I said, look, now is the time for us to accept that. It's not the best offer we could ever hope for, but we don't have to do any work to the apartment. The guy is happy to let us stay for a few months. it just makes the most sense.
Yeah, don't want to make the mistakes of being greedy or anything like that. I've seen it too many times.
But not only that, you also don't want to get stuck. You don't want to get stuck with equity that you can't release, and that's the biggest problem with property.
Yeah,
if I've got that much equity sitting, and it's going to take me 6 months to release that, well, then it's no good to me. That's my entire wealth right there. Yeah. Other than my monthly income, all of my wealth is built into this apartment. Mm-hmm. So, especially with the way the markets are, everyone keeps saying, "Oh, we're going higher," but we all know there's gonna be a reset at some point. There has to be. Mm-hmm. So if there's gonna be a reset, I'd much rather that reset, happen after I've cashed out the apartment, and then once it resets, then that's when I start feeding my money into investments and ride the wave back up again.
Yeah.
It's what Buffett does, isn't it? Buffett basically liquidates all of his investments when he thinks the market's going to have a reset or a pullback, and then he sits there cash ready to reinvest once again. That's when you want to be cash rich.
Which seems like it's already happened.
You think so?
That's what we see.
Oh no, he's liquidated his investments. That's what I mean. Yeah. So you see him liquidating, you think, all right, well, okay, then that must mean it's time for us to follow in suit.
We are in. If I go on to just basic trading view, just everything is. It just never seems like it wants to come down, though, does it?
No, but do you know what? It won't take. I don't think with the way geopolitics and everything else are right now, I don't think it will take much for it to have like a black swan event.
Yeah.
Like we've seen it all before. We've seen these red days where everything just bleeds, right? It won't take much for that to unravel. What was interesting was I did see a report the other day where the search term "can't sell my property," something along those lines, is at its highest ever. Like the number of people searching that particular phrase is at its highest ever. It's higher than it was when you had the GFC. It's higher than COVID. It's like at sky high levels. I was reading it and I thought, on the one hand, yeah, okay, that would be a little bit concerning. But on the other hand, you've also then got to consider when the global financial crisis hit in 2008, you didn't have the number of users that you have now on Google, right? So there will be more users. There will be more people searching that term because there's just simply more people that would do that, right? So I don't know how much I believe it, but worth always bearing in mind, right? So
exactly. All right, that's it. I'm gonna have to get off.
That is us for this week.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us despite your jet lag, Alex.
Am I jet lagged? I don't know.
I think you are. You just don't realize it yet.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Glad to have you back, mate. Glad you made it back in one piece.
Glad to be back.
And yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you next week.
All right. See you later.
Take it easy.
Bye bye.